We're back, Verbal Pick Radio, where we give you a verbal image of everyday life. We're just everyday people conversing about everyday people, having subject matter dealing with everyday people. Because this planet is made up of everyday people. And the sun rises and sets every day. And it shines on all of us that's above ground. First off, I got to give a shout out to Simone Biles. 4 goals, 5th women ever to do it. And the people in Brazil, especially the young black sisters in Brazil, she's inspiring them. They're seeing her and they say to themselves, I want to do that too. And you can. Keep pushing. Now, today, personally, I want to talk about the Matrix. The Matrix is actually your television set. That's the box that you're plugged in. You can watch a show for 1 hour, and that show will remain with you from that hour throughout that day, even into the next day. That Matrix box, which they call television, is cloning people. It's shaping their thinking. It's giving them their ideology. It's telling them who to vote for. And it's also creating situations and circumstances that's affecting the individual's everyday life. All from that Matrix box. How do you unplug yourself? Because I know it's hard. You know, you watch a show, and the next thing you know, you will sympathize with the character. You will emulate the character. You will go out and be the character within your mind. But someone else wrote the script. But that doesn't mean you can't have a connection with a character, because majority of the shows are based on everyday events. So you can see yourself doing that. You can see yourself reacting in that same situation as a character reacted into one of those shows. And they were designed for that purpose. But if you remember back in the 70s and even earlier before that, they were sending subliminal messages in the movies where they knew how to, and they had to stop that. They knew how to suggest, go get popcorn, go get Coke, buy Milk Duds. I mean, and you wonder, man, I gotta go get me a Coke. And you were being mind controlled. They were working on your mind before you was even born. Now, how do you unplug yourself from this Matrix box called TV? First, you have to realize who you are. Or as Brother Minister Farrakhan said, knowledge yourself. That's the first method to unplugging yourself from the Matrix box is you have to know who you are. Who are you? You are a person who is created to submit his or her will to the will of God. Now, Jesus didn't speak English. He spoke Aramaic and Hebrew. So when he said God, he said Allah or Jehovah, where actually it was Yahweh. If I'm pronouncing that right, which was the original way that they said Jehovah before it was translated. But the point I'm making is, when you unplug yourself and you realize who you are as an individual, who you came from, or who was that omni-universe presence that created man and woman and put his spirit into the both of them. That's who you are. That's what Jesus, Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon it, that's the whole goal and the whole purpose, is to become a Christ-like figure, to emulate Prophet Muhammad, to walk in his shoes, peace be upon him. They're showing you, and Jesus even stated it, greater things you can do than I have done if only you believe. He's telling you, he's hinting to the power that's within you. But what the Matrix box does is it gives you a false sense of power so you can act it out in real life, but they're giving you the suggestions to be like this or to be like that. The problem is it didn't come out of your creative thought or your creative mind. So something inside of you is telling you which direction to go, but then you have an opposing force that's saying, no, you should be like this. And that's why you find a lot of people that are unhappy or depressed or sad, is because they haven't learned how to tap into their inner self and be themselves. They so worried about what other people are doing or what other people think. That person thinks that way out of his own mind, and he's responsible for what his mind produces. Every individual is. Because you are a creator. You can create negativity within your life, or you can create positivity in your life. It's up to the individual. So when you go around judging, I don't like the way this person did that, or I don't like the way this person looked. If he didn't have those braids, like the brother in Milwaukee, that they're right, and they showing this picture with the tattoos, the braids, the whatnot, and you hear people saying, well, the way he presented himself to the world, he presented himself in a thug image. People saw him in that light. So, and police saw him in that light. So, of course, he would be targeted for some police brutality. So many words, that's what they're saying. But if you look at it, you can find black men in suits, black men football jerseys, black men bald-headed, black men with braids, black men in a Benz, black man in a whatever hooped it. And all of them would tell you a tale of police brutality or an encounter they had with a police officer, which throws out the notion that only black men who are dressed in quote unquote street attire, if you want to call it that, with the pants sagging and that whole culture, because I don't want to say hip-hop culture, because hip-hop culture have a variety. You know, you got a lot of consciousness in the hip-hop community who will wear a conscious style of attire. So I don't want to umbrella the whole hip-hop culture with an aspect of it. You know, and we can debate on that, you know, if you will. But the point I'm trying to make is, and I'm using Tariq Nasheed's words again, in a race soldier's mind, all he see is that one drop of black all the way to the blackest of black. That's all he see. From that one drop beyond. So he's not even looking at your clothing entirely, although they may give him a motive to be suspicious of you in his mindset. But he's just seeing that one drop and beyond. Now, back on unplugging yourself from that Matrix TV box. Different steps. You have to realize that the images that you create within your mind, let's say you listening to me right now, and I'm describing a beach scene, clear waters, you can see the fish through the water, the waves, the wind is blowing perfectly, you know, it's soothing, you laid back. You can visualize that. Then from that imagination or that visualization, your mind will create situations, circumstances to where you can experience that in real time. The scientists that write these movies, they understand that aspect. So if you're not a strong enough person to create your own reality, then they'll be more than happy to create a reality for you. And you'll follow the script. You'll do it. Because they know you'll do it. You're dealing with scientists. So the best thing you can do is create your own reality. Go over and over in a repetitive, get into a repetitive state of mind to where you say, I am successful. I make money every day. I have abundance. I'm enjoying life. Life is good. Everything around me is good. When you start making statements like that, the universe is actually creating that reality, and you're enjoying life. But if you focus and harbor on negativity without let me say this, without an objective view, because there are dualities in life, and positive and negative. That's a duality. So, yin and yang. But when you looking at something in an objective fashion, of course, you're not sucked in by the energy of the negative that's in the situation. If you get what I'm saying. You basically, what you're doing is you weighing out the pros and cons of the situation, and you're not sucked into the situation. Let's put it like that. This Verbal Pick Radio, you know what I think? We're going to get into a part 2 of this. Stay tuned for part 2. And we're going to title this, Unplugged from the Matrix.